Hi, welcome to part 2 of my animation progress. Last time, I went over the storyboarding process as well as a little bit of the rough animation process. And before you comment, I know, I'm sorry. I took way too long to make this video, and yes, it's been weeks. And okay, this is two main reasons. One, I have had a horrible sleep schedule and felt awful for the past few weeks. And two, animation takes time, but definitely not this long, so I'll try my best to be more consistent with the uploads. Anyway, let's get to the rough animation. What I'm about to show isn't the full animation. If I had actually finished every scene and every single sequence in rough animation, I'd have taken even longer to upload this video. But this will do for now. What matters is that you understand the importance of doing roughs before cleans. Here you can see a combination of the blocking method, which uses 3D objects to essentially build a scene, like sketches but for 3D, and rough animation drawings. This combination is usually used for animatics, which I mentioned in the last part. What's most important in this process is that I make sure that the movement and timing works. If the timing's off and the general movements feel wrong, they'll still feel wrong even if I add 4K textures to every single drawing. Details should be avoided at this stage in animation for this exact same reason. One thing you'll notice though is that I made a little bit of a mistake here. When you have a 3D reference that you can rotoscope, which is essentially ethically tracing the movement of an object or a person, it's better to skip the rough process entirely, as the 3D object or whatever you're rotoscoping serves that purpose already, and you can skip to the cleanup stage. On the other hand, you absolutely need to do the rough process when you do have such references, like you did for this tiny little robot. Once you're finished with the rough stages, you can start drawing detail all over your drawings. Like I said before though, this process takes time, and even I haven't finished the rough, the cleanup, or even the coloring stages of the full animation, like I should have. But I made sure to finish all these stages for the very first scene, so you can start getting a bit of an idea on how it's supposed to look in the end. Do note that the background, lighting, or quote-unquote post-production stages are still missing, as I personally like to leave them to the very end. When you're doing your rough animation, remember to be mindful of your movements. Better to mess up your timing where your drawings look like scribbles or trash than to notice your animations off after you spent hours coloring it and editing it. But yeah, that's about all the progress I have for now. The next upload will go more in depth into the cleanup stage and the coloring stage. I already kinda showed it here and mentioned it before, but I may have oversimplified it. But don't worry, I'll go more in depth in the next one. Anyway, thanks, bye.